Managing emotions. A lot of people in this sphere talk about emotions as something that you should not possess at all. You should be emotionless and cold and go through life being 100% logical and calculative. And that message sells a lot because there's a lot to gain from choosing a path similar to that. The point is that most people are influenced by their emotions too much. They skip the gym, they eat like shit, they simp for girls, they don't work on business because they're lazy, they spend too much time on social media, TikTok, bullshit like that. And to those people, of course, it would be very beneficial to not have emotions. But truth be told, if you did not have emotions, you wouldn't do anything all day. Because what's life without emotions? What's the actual meaning of life? Nobody really knows. Some people say that you have to make your own meaning. Some people say God. Some people, everybody got an opinion, but at the end of the day, it's all motivated by emotions, motivated by ego or altruism or whatever. It's motivated by emotions generated by your brain and your heart. So to not have emotions at all is a fallacy. There's no way you won't have emotions at all. Even psychopaths and like legitimately crazy people that have zero emotions, even those people have emotions, they just have only certain emotions. But in your case, presumably you are a semi-normal person, like I am a semi-normal person, well, then you have a bunch of emotions. And probably because you are semi-normal, you have very strong emotions. And that's very good, because right now that's probably messing up your life, because one day you are very happy, very motivated, you are going to go crash it, you're going to wake up early, hit the gym, work on the business, this and that. The other day you are all depressed and you are down in the dumps because you didn't do everything you wanted to do, or you messed something up, whatever. But you are an emotional roller coaster, and right now that is driving you crazy, and it creates a lot of suffering, because the good days are alright, but they are far and few in between, and the bad days are very they comprise most of your life, and you can't really handle them. On your bad days, you have almost no control over how bad you feel and over what you do. So what I'm going to present in this video is the way that I have used to manage the emotion, both in the good days but mostly on the bad days, so you can actually not only not suffer so much on those days, but also gather that power and use it for good. Use it for things that you actually want to do, and in the process lower the amount of bad days, maximize the amount of good days, and maximize the results you want out of life. So I'm going to give you a story here. About 1 month ago, a lot of things in my life went very wrong, and reached a peak of everything fucking up together in a beautiful mess. And at that time I was in my hometown for a few days, where I don't go to the gym because I only visit there, so I don't really have a gym there. I go to a public stadium where I do calisthenics, and at that stadium there's also a track, like a 400-meter track where athletes go. And for the last 4 or 5 years I had run precisely 0 times. I never really liked running. Like, I hated cardio, like every proper gym guy. But also I used to smoke cigarettes for about 4 years, and that really messed up my lungs. It made me very out of breath very easily. So I hated running for 2 different reasons, because I was already quite bad at it and I didn't like it, and then the extra stress of the smoking that fried my lungs made it 10 times more difficult. So I never ran. But I had recently quit smoking. It's been about 6 months, and it was at the back of my mind that I should do some cardio probably running. Even though I hate it, even though I'm going to be sit at it, I have to do it. Like, everybody knows that running is good for you, that cardio is good for you. I never did it, and I reached the point where I just knew I had to do it. And one of those days that I was at the stadium, just by the track, I had finished my workout, and was a very shitty day where everything was going wrong. And even though I hit my workout very hard, as I always do, my mind was still very restless. I had too many emotions. I knew that if I went home and tried to work, I couldn't focus. I would be pissed off and all over the place. So in a snap of a finger, I decided that I had to run. Mind you, I was wearing a pair of jeans and some shoes that are not meant for running, so it was not optimal. I was fasted, whatever. It was not good conditions, but I just decided, alright, I know I have to run, and I know I have to do something right now to exhaust all those emotions so they don't fuck up the rest of my day, so I can be focused and actually solve the problems. And I loaded up a few songs, about 15 minutes worth of music, and I just ran for 15 minutes. And it was nothing impressive. I think I ran 3.5 kilometers in 15 minutes. It's not impressive by any means, but to my standards, it was exhausting. It was, first of all, as I said, I'm crap at running, so it really kicked the shit out of me. It was also under the hot sun of the Greek summer. It really got me tired, like physically very tired. It was painful, and the great thing is that right after I stopped, right after the last song finished, I felt a sense of calm and quiet. It was not that I was completely exhausted and I just wanted to go to sleep, but all those emotions that were peaking above the line that I could handle properly were gone. And they were gone because I had manifested something productive out of those peaks. And you might wonder, alright, Theo, what the fuck, why didn't you just go and work then, if you could transmute those emotions into actual work? Well, the interesting thing is that transmuting the emotional energy you have throughout the day into something you want to do is a bit tricky, because some tasks are very easy to transmute emotional energy into them, and some others are a bit harder, or a lot harder. And it all comes down to what you have practiced and how precise the task is. The more delicate the task, the more capable you have to be of handling your emotions in order to transmute emotional energy into that task. So running or working out is very brute. It's very it doesn't require a lot of precision to run or to do pull-ups. You just do it. You just grab the bar and you pull. So if you are very pissed off at that moment, you can just go very hard, and you're going to transmute that emotional energy into something productive. But try doing a bunch of little details in your business, or try to design a bunch of Facebook ads while you are very emotionally charged, and it's not that easy, because you get pissed off. Maybe you use like an editing software, and you misclick and you're about to smash your hand on your screen, so it's not exactly productive, at least at first. But the point is that the more capable you get at transmuting your emotional energy into work, the more precise and delicate the work can be. So how do you actually go from being all over the place to being able to transmute your emotional energy into delicate work? Well, at first you have to meet yourself where you at. So the easiest thing to do is work out, as I said. If right now your life is a mess and you're all over the place emotionally, and you have very good and very bad days, and you have no clue how to use all that energy and not have that energy run your life, then just pick up working out. And the key here is what I said about running. You don't care if the workout is optimal for muscle gain. It's not the point of the workout. When I was at my hometown, I stayed there for 2 weeks, and I slept 3 hours every night. I ate all right, but I worked out every day because things were going very, very wrong. And the logical thing would be for me to sleep more and to work out less so I recover properly. But in the span of about 1 week, I ran 4 times, and I ran 3.5 kilometers, then I think 5, then 8, and then 8.5. And I did not recover at all. I did all that shit fasted, like under the sun at the worst time of the day at around 12 p.m. where the sun is very hot and you get very dehydrated. If you run for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, it's a mess. And I also hit my normal workouts. And I did not do that to gain muscles. I actually lost muscles during that period. I did it just to be able to harness the emotional energy that was above the line that I could harness with my actual work. Because I knew that if I didn't use that energy that I couldn't put into my normal work, then I would be completely a mess. I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't do anything, I could only punch my wall. I don't want to do that. So I just hit like 20 workouts in 14 days. And that's what I recommend you do. So for now, if you cannot manage your emotions in any other way, I just recommend you start working out, not to build muscle, not for any physical goals, just to be able to transmute that energy. Because first of all, it's going to use that energy up and free you to think clearly for the rest of the day. But it will also get you in that mind space where you harness the energy. So during the runs, during the workout sessions, you're going to start to get a feeling for how it feels to trigger your emotions when you want to use the emotional energy. So during the runs, I would think of the things that were really pissing me off or were really making me sad, and it would be so painful that it would give me a lot of energy to continue my run even though I was exhausted. And that's exactly the point, and that's exactly the thing that you're going to do with more precise things down the road. Because when you work for 12, 14, 16 hours a day, you are it's the best place to actually trigger again a bunch of emotions that are going to give you the energy to go through that 16-hour day. But in order to be able to do that efficiently, you first need to learn to manage those emotions. And if right now you can't do that at all, you are better off to start with something physical, which is the easiest thing to start with. So if right now your life is a mess and a bunch of emotions are running you all over the place, just start with working out. And I do recommend running, because working out with normal exercises like the gym or calisthenics, it's a bit limited to what you can do, because you can do a certain amount of pull-ups until you can't do any more pull-ups, and the variations of exercises kind of run out. But with running, it's you literally place one foot in front of the other, so you can run for a ridiculous amount of time, or you can run until you are completely exhausted to the point that you can barely walk anymore. And being able to exhaust yourself to such a level is very beneficial, especially at first, when your emotions are very powerful and your control over them is very, very much shit. So I recommend you start with running, so you can get a feeling of how it is to exhaust those emotions completely. You're going to get a great feeling after it, because all the emotional energy that is tormenting you right now is going to be gone, at least for a few hours. That was the case for me. Like, I would do a session, and for 6 hours, 12 hours, maybe until the next day, I would be feeling fine. But by the next day, I would start to get build up again. So at first, I recommend you start with running, so you can exhaust yourself as much as you see fit, and start to get a feeling for how it is to get that emotional energy and transmute it into whatever you want. And after you start doing that for a few weeks, then you can move on to doing more delicate things like working on a business or whatever else you do. For now, just like the video if you like the video. It's pretty fucking simple. Leave any comments you want below, or reach out to me on Instagram. It's Esoteric Hustler. I've got a big community there, a lot of people. You're going to like it. Check it out, and I'll see you on the next one.